Their Majesties call forth Duke Vladimir and Viscount Tristan.
Your Majesties, His Grace and I humbly beg a boon.
If it is the right and proper thing, we shall grant it.
We both confer and agree that Theodweard the Archer is ready for your order of chivalry and commend him to you.
I believe we're in agreement.
Summon the members of our most noble order of chivalry.
Noble sirs, is it in your good judgment that Theodweard is ready for this accolade?
Aye.
If Theodweard the Archer would come forward.
Your Majesties, Your Highnesses, assorted excellencies, and my lords and ladies, I give you a man, a warrior, who has honed his martial skills for years and years. Do not let his shock of white hair, his milky eyes, his trembling hands fool you. No! This venerable warrior has guarded these kingdom walls for a quarter of a century. Walls have been built and crumbled in that time. I give to you my shield brother, my house brother, and I am proud to call him my friend, Theodweard the Archer.
Your Majesties, assembled crowd, the very first thing to do in this ceremony is to release Theodweard from his oath of fealty to me. This reminds me back of many years ago when Theodweard, after many years of fighting together, finally came to me and said, you know, maybe pursuing knighthood is kind of interesting to me. Let's maybe talk about that. I'm very proud to say that I felt that this day was always coming because within you was the character of a knight. I had never any doubt of that from the moment I met Theodweard. And I'm proud to say that his work, not any of the rest of us, has gotten him to this point. And I would like to thank him for his service to me and to the crown.
Is there a royal peer to attest to Theodweard's nobility?
Aye, Your Majesty.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Your Majesty's I, Duchess Petronella, will speak to Theodweard's nobility. As has been mentioned, Theodweard has been around for a very long time. And when you've been around for a long time, eventually, most people upset other people. There are people who don't like it. And that happens because many times you're willing to do the right thing even when it's the hard thing. Because while it is very easy to do the right thing when it is easy and when it is popular, Theodweard is willing to do the right thing when it is difficult and when it is unpopular. This is a quality of nobility. This, Your Majesties, I commend him to you.
is there a letter?
Aye, Your Majesties. Greetings unto their stellar royal family, assembled peers and most esteemed people of Northshield from the far eastern border of the Middle Kingdom. I am honored for the few moments I've been granted to share a few words regarding a worthy man. No worries, this is only just one page in the letter. I have been granted, our village is busy preparing for a long journey to the south, commanded by our king, and he keeps me from bringing these words to you in person. I have had the privilege of knowing Theodweard for most of my time in this society. Through the years, he has been my friend, my house brother, my consort in Crown Tournament, and now is my peer. Among the many aspects that have brought Theodweard to this point, I wish to speak of his generosity. Generosity is highly revered among the Norse people, as greed does not make men follow. Theodweard is fiercely generous. In all aspects, he gives of himself, not only physically, financially, and unselfishly, but most of all, emotionally. His heart is what drives him to always give so freely and has guided him to his path to this day. His generosity is freely given to people of all stations without a second thought. He has helped his home group flourish and has provided much of himself for the betterment of his kingdom. I have been honored to watch him grow over the years and find his way to becoming a thriving member of the Kingdom of Northshield. My travels have taken me to many places in the known world, and I do not think I could find a match to this man's generosity. With sincere honor and gratitude, I send these words. Iskerder Gulkar, 7th Viscountess of Northshield, Jarla of Grimmer Holsta, Shield Maiden of Donnertal.
Is there a pelican to attest to his service?
Hi, Your Majesties. I, Geoffrey Warwick, am pleased to speak on behalf of this man. Good people of Northshield, there are many terms that could be used to describe the service that this man gives to the society. He gives it freely, without hesitation, guides others to serve. He brings unbridled enthusiasm and energy. In fact, for those of you who know him personally, I'm quite convinced he is an incarnation of the freaking ever-ready bunny. He infects other people with this energy, but it's still not just random energy that he brings to his service. He shared a story with me many years ago of his mentor, Sir Tristan, who taught him the way to fight on the field in an efficient manner. And he uses that same lesson in everything he does, when he works with new fighters, when he brings that service to the society. So I commend him to you that he will continue to use all of these gifts, especially that boundless energy, to his role as a knight.
Is there a laurel to attest to his nobility?
Yes, Your Majesty. My message to all of you, and this good man before you, turned down on his attempts to offer him to be my apprentice, although he did not feel that I was making in anything but jest. Long ago, in his group, he and another of my apprentices here, Lord Blah, invited me down because they wished to make a hunt. And they opened their shop in 30 below window with a video camera set up so that they could watch sort of a failed attempt at putting together a bassinet in those particular conditions. Even from the beginning, he sought out to present a display on both the field and in history, off-field garb and persona of a 14th century man. He pursued, in his own way, to find those people that would help him create things. And he in his group, and my friend who's back there, helped many of them in that group get on the field. Our being here depends on looking and feeling as if we were in the Middle Ages. Your Majesties, he has pursued that, and I believe has succeeded greatly. And I commend him to this day.
Is there a member of the populace who would speak to his qualities as a peer?
I, Your Majesty, and as I bear mild things to people, and I would speak on Theodweard's behalf. Your Majesty, Your Excellency, I have been asked to speak on the knightly qualities of the people of the Watcher, and this is my great honor. I thought long and hard on this when he came to me. I asked Theodweard to send a copy of his knightly virtues that he's chosen. And as I looked at them, it dawned on me. These are not the virtues he aspires to, but truly, that describe this man. First is justice, the quality of being just. If you ever had to deal with this man, you will agree. On or off the field, this man will treat you justly. Second is wisdom, knowledge that is gained from many life experiences. I can count a number of times that I have sought out this man's wise counsel, and he has never steered me wrong. Charity, the act of giving. Theodweard is always willing to give his time to teach, organize, and help when needed. All you need to do is ask him. Loyalty. Nothing gives me more comfort than knowing this man is my friend and has my back no matter what. That is an amazing thing. Verity, the quality or state of being true or real. Whenever you whether you will like the answer or not, Theodweard will give you the truth, always. 6 is humility. This man is humble on the field. This man's humility on the field is inspirational. Win or lose, there's always a smile on his face. Some of his best stories are not how he won in battle, but how he lost in battle. Lastly is hope, to cherish and desire with anticipation. If it's fighting, his wife, his family, working on a project, teaching, this man gives hope. It flows from him. Always encouraging those who need it, always lending a hand up. These are the knightly virtues, and these are Theodweard. On or off the field, in or out of guard, whenever or whatever. This is what you can expect from this man. And there's one description left, and that is my favorite. Friend. And any of you know him are blessed. And so I will give you my friend.
Your Excellency, Edward, would you please speak as Master of Defense?
Thank you, Your Majesties, I would. Theodweard asked me to speak for him. I thought about what I wanted to say and which virtue I wanted to talk about. And honestly, I had to spend some time on this because there were so many things. So many things I could speak about. And I'd like to speak about his grace. There's been a lot of discussion about all the virtues that he embodies. But honestly, to me, it's his grace that sets him apart. I have watched him interact with his peers, with newcomers, with the public, folks who aren't involved in the SCA anymore. Never once have I seen anyone come away from those conversations with anything but a smile on their face. To be fair, we've had many a conversation, and I have never walked away from one without a smile on my face, even though I probably didn't deserve to in some cases. That is grace. That is truly grace. Your Majesties, I couldn't commend anyone higher. Thank you.
Right mindful of your prowess on the field, in response to the wishes of your peers, we are minded to make you a knight. Know to wear the belt and the chain is to hold a sacred trust. The obligations of knighthood will demand your efforts every moment of your life.
A knight must seek excellence in all endeavors, martial and otherwise, seeking strength to be used in the service of justice, not for their own good, but for the good of all. A knight must recognize that the sword of justice can be a terrible thing, so humanity and mercy must temper it. A knight must remain loyal to the people and the ideals he chooses to live by. A knight must love his kingdom and fulfill most faithfully his feudal duties. A knight must have the courage to sacrifice for the precepts and people he values. A knight must have faith in their beliefs, while never diminishing the beliefs of another. A knight values the contributions of others, according them the renown rightfully earned. A knight must be generous, countering the natural tendency toward gluttony. A knight recognizes that true nobility arises from the journey, not the destination.
Seek to emulate all of this as sincerely as possible.
Seek to emulate all of this as sincerely as possible.
Not for personal gain.
Not for personal gain,
But because it is right.
but because it is right.
Do not restrict your exploration,
Do not restrict your explanation to a small world,
but seek to infuse
every
every aspect of your life
life
with these qualities.
with these qualities.
Should you succeed,
And even
in a tiny measure,
and you will be well remembered
and you will be well remembered
for
for your quality and virtue.
knowing all of this,
do you desire to accept elevation?
do you desire to accept elevation?
I do, Your Majesty.
Hear now their will in full. We, Toyoka Katsuo and Ethelfled, King and Queen of Northshield, are led to address this missive to you, Theodweard Larcher, by the high repute which attaches to your name in the field of combat. The valiant and noble spirit that aspires to be the best at arms must aim not at the goal of attaining knighthood, but at breadth of learning, dedication to practice, courtesy on and off the field, and honor in every endeavor. A most illustrious and experienced lord, you have demonstrated all of these attributes and more. You will find no finer example of prowess, constancy, and devotion, or more gallant lessons in the highest virtues. Thus are we moved to recognize you as a companion of the order of the chivalry, and allow unto you these arms by letters patent, argent, an oak tree proper, and on a chief embattled gules 3 Latin crosses o'er. The importance of this last is hardly to be disregarded, for it is among the highest marks of distinction allowed. To this we set our hand at Lupercalia on 20th of February, Anno Societatis 50, in our shire of Ribbonwood Tower.
Swear fealty to the crown.
Swear fealty to the crown.
I here swear fealty and do homage to the crown of Northshield, to ever be a good knight and true, shield of the weak, obedient to my liege lord, reverent and courteous, foremost in battle, courteous at all times, champion of the right and the good, thus swear I, Theodweard the Archer.
Accept your gifts of fealty and homage.
We accept your gifts of fealty and homage.
We will rely on you
We will rely on you
to advise us wisely
as you light the way for Northshield
with honor and charity.
We will act toward you
We will act toward you
respectively in all things,
respectively in all things,
protecting you with our aid,
and rewarding you with our love.
rewarding you with our love.
But
May all strength fail,
And the world turn against you.
if you should break your solemn oath.
if you should break your solemn oath.
Is there a sword?
Aye, Your Majesty. The sword of a knight carries 2 edges. The first to cut to the truth, and the second is to administer His Majesty's justice. It is held in the scabbard which represents mercy, that you may not always use the sword to solve a dispute.
The knight's belt. It is made of pure leather and represents purity and chastity. It is worn as a constant reminder against the body's tendency towards lust, greed, and sloth. It represents a rebirth as a knight in purity.
Are there spurs?
As knight's spurs go to warhorse, so should they go to the fight and devour service, diligence, and swiftness. Let the spurs hasten the knight to his duty, that he might maintain his order and high honor and belong to it. By placing precious gold spurs near his feet, a knight displays his disdain for worldly things. They should be worn with honor and discretion, lest they be hacked from the heels in shame of disgrace.
Is there a cloak?
Consider shamefastness or fear of shame. This cloak bears the armor argent, an oak included copper on sheath and battered gules, 3 Latin crosses or, to ensure that all might know this knight from afar and judge him fair or foul, to ensure obedience to the order of knighthood. It symbolizes the hardships and travail that a knight did suffer foremost in battle, and by always placing his body between his kingdom and her foes, just as the cloak receives any blows, rain, or insult before the armor and body of the knight.
Is there a chain?
There is, Your Majesty. I have this chain that was the chain worn by my knight Tristan on the day he was knighted, that was presented to me on the day I was knighted. And today I'm honored to pass this on to you, Theodweard, on your knighting.
Knight's chain is made out of gold, purest metals, and its unending linkage is a symbol of the fealty the knight has to the crown.
Remembrance of its given.
Hi, Your Majesties. I have Northshield's legacy chain. It started with Gunther, Cecil Hagen, Dumas, or Dumas, Alrich.
And other guys.
Not all guys.
And lady.
I got my book. Rotor. It was Niklos, Roshin, Wolfgar, Stephen. Oh, that's one man. Alexander. Torsten. Alexander. Vladimir. Murdoch. Toyoka Katsuo. Edwin. Toramasa. Zadok. Jean du Malchance. Armand. And on to John's. James, myself, and on to you now, my friend. Theodweard Larcher.
Yeah. I practiced this before. I've got to do this in a month.
Apparently, we're not the only ones who thank you of great worth. Your wife has tried to pay me, but I don't see it fit or right to keep payment. So this is a gift from her to you. I'm just gonna hit you.
That's true. Remembrance of oaths given and received.
In remembrance of oaths given and received.
In remembrance of your lineage and obligations.
And in remembrance of lineage and obligations.
Be thou a good knight.
Be thou a good knight.
There is
Bear this blow as your last unanswered blow. Rise, Sir Theodweard.
Sir Theodweards Elevation!
And your brother.
Companion of the Order of Defense. Your Majesty,